Hi everyone, welcome back to PodKids. Today we have a very nice and interesting interview with two people that are just fascinating. In this season 2 of PodKids, we're going to run an interview with Roger and Nancy. Alright, so please stay over there because everything is just going to be fascinating. So Roger, hello.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, Nancy.
Hello.
All right, so I am going to start asking what are your full names, right? Because I guess people don't know what are your full names, so I am going to ask with you, Roger.
Yeah, my full name is Roger Francisco Carlos da Silva.
Very good. So, Nancy?
My full name is Nancy Ann Gottlieb.
All right, very good. So, today we brought here Nancy and Roger because Roger is a very nice boy, and he's got some questions to ask Nancy, right? So it's a good opportunity for us to interact and know a little bit more about Nancy's English school. So Roger, what are the questions that you have for us, please?
Yes, my first question is, why did you create Nancy?
Okay, so I actually came to Angola in 1994 with ADPP, that's an NGO, and I worked for ADPP, let's see, like 6 or 7 years out in Cavaco.
All right.
And it came a time when ADPP was going one way and I didn't agree how they were going.
All right.
But I really liked being in Angola and I didn't want to go home to America. And actually I had a friend here, an Angolan friend, and it was his idea. He had been living in England, and he had the idea to start an English school. And he one day said to me, "Oh, I want to start an English school. Why don't you be the director?" And I said, "That's nice, but I already have a pretty big job." I wasn't paying attention, but I kept thinking about it. And at that time, ADPP was having financial trouble, and I didn't agree with what they were doing. And I started, maybe I can start the English school to help make money for. I was running the Escola de Professores do Futuro in Cavaco.
All right.
And then after a while I thought, like, maybe I should just forget that and start an English school.
All right.
And that's how it started. I didn't want to leave Angola. I was looking for how could I stay. And at that school we already had a lot of English material.
Okay.
So it got me thinking about it.
All right.
And that's what happened.
Very nice. That's very nice. Let's go to the second question.
But why the name Nancy?
Well, to tell the truth, the first name I wanted to do, because that school in Cavaco was called Escola de Professores do Futuro, School of the Teachers of the Future.
Okay.
So I was thinking to call this Ferramentos da Futuro, Tools of the Future.
Okay.
But I had a good friend here who was like a businessman. He says, "It sounds like a hardware store. Everybody knows you. Your name is Nancy. Why don't you call it Nancy's English School? It's simpler." And so I thought he was right. That was a good idea. So thanks to Mr. Rui, that's why it's called Nancy's English School.
All right.
Okay.
Very nice.
When was the center created?
We officially opened in, I think, May of 2005.
2005, so it's a long time
Yeah,
ago.
so it's more than 20 years now. And,
All right.
your parents weren't even thinking about you. Maybe they weren't born, who knows?
For real. And so, I have a question, which is like, what is the secret of keeping the school run this whole time?
Resilience.
Of course.
Liking challenges. I mean, right now it all looks very nice, but there's been many, many, many bumps along the way.
Exactly.
But I think I think it was a very good decision that happened that I ended up choosing the direct method.
Okay.
Which I found out from a friend of mine who worked at APPP, who was Polish. She studied in England at a school called the Callan School that used the direct method, and that's how I found out about it.
Okay.
Because with this, there are so many methods of teaching English. There's so many books and so many ways, but here, this idea of you really are forced in a friendly way to have to speak all the time.
Okay,
and
exactly.
It's treated like a skill, like playing tennis, not an academic exercise.
Okay.
And that it's the books that are the same. My job is to make sure your teachers know how to apply that method. But then we have a product. So if Nogueira's not there one day, another teacher could come in and keep on going.
Exactly.
So That's part of the secret sauce.
All right.
Okay, and what and where you study?
Well, I'm very old, so I studied in the United States. That's where I grew up. I have a bachelor degree, a bachelorette, I guess, from a
Yes.
small college in upstate New York called Hamilton College.
All right.
But actually, I first went for 2 years, and then I dropped out to become a dancer, and I moved to New York City, and a lot of things happened. And then I was lucky to be able to go back and finish my undergraduate degree there.
All right.
And then I ended up moving to New York City, and I worked for quite a few years. And then I moved to Boston, and I got my MBA, which is a Master's of Business Administration, at probably the only women's business school, I think, in the whole world, called Simmons. And I graduated. I worked for a few years. I met someone. I was looking to do something that I liked more than what I was doing. And I met a Danish woman from ADVP who happened to be studying at that same school.
Okay.
And I ended up getting a job and came here.
All right. That's very nice.
Okay, and I would like to know, why don't DM books fit in the bag?
Exactly.
Well, when we bought the first set of DM books, that was the size that they were. And that's the size we've
Yes.
printed them.
Exactly.
But given that we have that poster, I think it turns out to be, as I walk around
Exactly.
Angola and I see
Exactly.
lots of people with the book, I think
Exactly.
this is free advertising.
Exactly, because it turned out to be a funny story, and at the same time, lucky us, we
Yes,
have this free advertising,
that's
right? Yeah, that's very nice. That's very nice. Roger, let's go with the questions.
Okay, what are your expectations for the future of Nancy's English School?
So I have quite a few expectations for the future. First to say, as I'm pretty sure you know, we have artificial intelligence that's coming at us all like a supersonic tsunami. And for us, that is allowing us to automate a lot of the administrative, not all, but many of the administrative things. If we didn't have that, I would have smaller expectations. But because of that possibility, some of what we've done and what we think we can do, it allows us to have the structure to be able to serve even more students. That's one thing. Also, because of that, we're actively working on making little tools, like little conversation tools or revision you can do at home that will get sent to your WhatsApp thanks to AI. So you'll even be learning and practicing speaking even better, because our goal is that, Elder's mother has a great goal for our school, which is to make Benguela the first English-speaking province in Angola. So.
And we're getting to this point.
Okay, and can you speak about the Talking Kids project?
I can. So when we first started doing the direct method, the books we buy come from a company in Poland who made them. And I don't remember what year, but I went to visit them, and I guess through them, there also was another Polish company that made a direct method program for kids, which I found out about, and I went and I met them, and I bought the books from them, and then we thought, well, let's try that too, because the method is similar.
Exactly.
It will allow either our teachers to help teach or teachers who teach that, and so we started just small. It was small for a long time because you needed somebody to, there's a lot of little details. You weren't talking kids, there's a lot of cards, there's a lot of things, and it needs somebody to lead it. And we didn't have a person really to lead Talking Kids. When we had it, but it was small. Then when Gisela joined the company, she was interested, and so Talking Kids started to grow, and it keeps growing. And it takes kids like you, makes them talk, speak English.
Yes, and the contribution of this Gisela made this happen.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us came with zero experiences in terms of teaching, and when we passed through the training, we actually got the hang of it, and look at the product now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how was the school Nancy created?
So, like I said, well, in the very beginning, after deciding that I wanted to stay in Angola and try to start a school, and I left ADPP, I also felt like, I said I went to business school, and one thing we learned, it's very good to have a competitive advantage if you start something like that. I'm the only native English speaker for a very big diameter who thinks, gee, I'd like to start an English school right here in Angola.
Exactly.
There are other English schools, but even if we didn't have a good method, I'm American, I knew people would come at least to try,
Exactly.
So it started, I was the first teacher. There was a Brazilian teacher with this method. I went to Brazil, he trained me, I came back, I found some young Angolans who spoke English well, trained them, and bit by bit, had more teachers, had more students. Then we very happily got this house, which I had looked at like 4 or 5 houses and felt I wanted each one, and then I didn't get it, and I was so sad. And it turns out this place was 100 times better than any of those. That's how it started.
Okay, but
This place is the main house now.
okay, but why did you choose Angola?
Well, I didn't choose Angola. Those ADPP people decided to send me to Angola. I wanted to work with them. They sent me here. Here I was, and I liked it here. I remember I don't know why. The first time I got off on an airplane in Benguela, it just felt like I felt good here. And
home.
I have felt that way. I'm not right now. Generally, I've been very happy to be American. Not right now, but I've been more happy to be an American living outside of America. And maybe you don't know that Angolan people, with all the difficulties that there are here, are just in a better mood and happier people and nicer to be around than most people I know in America who have so many more material things and are complaining all the time.
That's very nice.
That was the last question.
Okay, but now my question for you.
Yes.
Did I say something that surprised you? What did you think of?
Yes.
What did you learn from my interview?
And where?
Did anything that Nancy said, surprised? Like you were not waiting for this answer, and then it turned out that you got, flabbergasted, surprised with what
Yes.
you said.
The last question, because I thought you have chosen the country of Angola, and it surprised me that you didn't choose.
If you go, sometimes you'll see, I go to eat at the Vietnamese restaurant and there's a Chinese restaurant. If it had been me to choose, I would have gone to Asia. But they sent me to Angola. And I also like to dance, and almost all of Angolan guys, not all, but almost all are very good dancers. So that's a little extra nice reason to be in Angola.
Okay.
Okay.
Finished it.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we have no more questions. We just want to acknowledge your presence in here. I don't know if you have any questions, suggestion, or whatever you want to say.
I only want to say it was a pleasure, and thank you for asking to interview me, and thank you for interviewing me.
Thank you very much. So this was the interview. Thank you very much, everybody, for keeping up with us. This was a brilliant interview with the talk of Nancy and Roger. So stay tuned for the next and upcoming episode. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.